So we just tried to go to McDonald's because in Marks and Spencer's we were going to get some lunch in with our shopping, and the lady there was stopping people in the car park, and she also said it's the whole country. The whole country's card payments have gone down. No one can use card right now, so no one can get petrol, diesel, no one can pay for anything, no one can get their shopping, no one can buy a train ticket. Like, is this just in Essex, or is this the whole country? Because we're thinking, oh, perhaps it was just a blip because we've come over to Chelmsford in Essex. Maybe it's just here. And there's nothing written on any news or anything. So we thought, oh, we'll go to the nearest cash point, because there wasn't one at Aldi. So we had to leave all of our shopping in Marks and Spencer's and just walk out. We've managed to get cash out, but surely everyone's going to be doing that. So all the cash machines are going to be completely rinsed. It's Saturday, the banks are now closed. And like, I'm like conspiracy theories. So I think, imagine if they say it's some sort of cyber terrorist attack or something. And then, no, but it could be, couldn't it? This is what they'll say. And then we're going to have to get involved in the war in with Palestine and Israel. That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe that's my conspiracy theory. But anyway, for now, I don't know what everyone's going to do. So I hope you've all got your shopping in and whatever, especially if you live in Chelmsford, because you can't use your card.
Пошел, отойди подальше. Внимание! Огонь!
October 12th. I apologize if Nancy Drew showed this yesterday. So this would be hard to breach. This is Thursday the 12th. Thursday the 12th of October. This is a new structure. This would be hard to breach, say, if something were to go down and there was pandemonium. I would say that you'd have, this is brick. Interesting.
War can only exist if there is true evil in our leadership. Nobody in their right minds can give an order to bomb innocent families like this. It doesn't matter which side you're on. I think that what we're seeing with the Israeli situation is a perception of two sides fighting each other, but in reality, there is only one evil group, way at the top, that is creating the conflict and dictating the perceptions. And that group orchestrated the surprise attacks. Surprise? Look at the Israeli defense and their surveillance technology. It's probably the best in the world, especially in the Gaza Strip. So you want me to believe that they didn't see the hundreds of rockets and people on paragliders coming in when they got an iron dome and radars that can sense when rodents are nearby? Come on. And what's hurtful is that I'm sure that the people on both sides just want peace, but they've been programmed since birth to identify as one side and hate on the other side, which is never going to fix the problem. We need to remove the corruption, remove the labels, and start thinking differently if we want to get somewhere.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. So I put that video together for us today because it had so much information, but I was really kind of thrown back by how much money we have put in and put out, what we put out. I think the big thing right now is that we are set up for the Trojan horse. I have said this for about 3 years, and I believe that the Trojan horse is within our borders. There's over 23 terrorist cells throughout the United States right now that are on the FBI watch list. So as we're sending more and more progressed and blessed, everybody, wow, wow, wow. Everyone, welcome, progressed and blessed back. How are you? So happy to see you. I'm really happy to see you folks rolling in. Eyes to see. We'll also be lifting you up in prayers you have. Go forward with your heart issue. But so happy to see some of y'all rolling back in. We've missed you too. We've missed you too. I'm going to stop the broadcast for 1 minute. Progressed and blessed. Everybody give her a big prepper hug in the chat. It's been a long, long time. We're happy to see you. Happy to have you back. I'm happy to see all of you. I say that right now, these are very, very, very trying times, folks. They're very trying times. Many of us have military family or uh, loved ones going over there, friends, and right now they are pushing more over there. Lots more, right? We also have another situation that I made a little video here, but it's not. There's no sound or anything. And what I wanted to say is right now, also, we are being threatened that if there is the bombing of Gaza, that they're going to stop the gas supply. The gas supply will be cut off to the world. Along with that, folks, there's so many things occurring right now. Germany, Italy, Colombia, the Netherlands, Argentina, Brazil, all these countries, right, are sending military and warships over into the strait. They're getting very, very close. When will this pop off? I mean, what makes me very nervous, and I'm going to be just straight up honest as I always am with this channel. What makes me very nervous is I think that we have such bad actors in this, involved in this, that it's going to take that one little button, that one little somebody miscalculating somebody else's move, and all hell's going to break loose. And when all hell breaks loose, every terrorist group in the United States is going to wake up and say, here we are. We have been waiting for this day. If you're not part of our Telegram channel, I just posted something over on Telegram that I can't really talk about here. I do try to stay very neutral in the situation because I believe war is war, and I believe that war is not in any way, shape, or form the answer to the problems, right? It's not the answer to the problems. I'm going to take this back a minute, and I'm going to put me down here in the corner so y'all can see it real quick. But I want to say that, as he's saying, they will stop the gas supply of the world. Right now, I would say tomorrow, if you have the opportunity, get out there, fill up your tanks, fill up any extra tanks you have, any gas cans, that type of thing, because these threats are coming in more and more. We also have the threat from Russia, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I want you to take a look at this real brief video. Basically, I believe with all the military movement that is happening around the world, all eyes on Israel and everyone moving to Israel, that's the thing. Everyone's moving military to Israel, is that this one bad actor, one miscalculation is going to set the whole world on fire, literally, and the house will burn down. Here in the United States, we will be under attack from every angle. We don't realize how precious life is until we're put in a situation like this. Many of us have lost loved ones and things like that. Here's the military planes that are currently headed to Israel or in the airspace. And it's very interesting that the countries that they're coming from are all over the world. Russia just stated that they're kind of laying off Ukraine because they have bigger intentions over in Israel. Also, it was just reported by Brandy F that old Putin had a heart attack, maybe because he knows that he is stirring the pot intensely. China and Russia are standing together. Here is my big concern right here. Right here. I'm going to stop it right there, right now. This is a huge concern, folks. This is a huge, I don't even know what to say about this threat right here. Me and Dragonflies were just speaking about this tonight. Our timeline compared to their timeline is very different, right? It's very different. And we always think when they say something's going to happen, it's going to happen, boom, that day. Just like on October the 13th, them saying that, that this was called globally. Have you noticed that things are popping up on different channels and news broadcasts about these attacks? There was just another one in a school there in I think it was Brazil, but there was one in the UK. There's been one in France. There's been a couple here in the United States, and they're starting to pop up more and more. This right here, though, beside my head, message to the U.S. about Iran. You won't even have time to see what hit you. Russia became the first country with supersonic strategic forces. And I do want to say that what the capability has is like sixth generation. 6th generation, folks, and we are at like 4. Okay, we're at like 4th generation. We can't even we won't even see this coming as they come into the United States. We've talked about the cities that are the major targets, and of course they're going to hit major targets in the United States. I am hoping and praying that this does not occur in the United States. Do I think it's going to? I'm sorry to say, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for anybody that thinks that it's not, but I really do believe it will. I believe that they will knock out every city? No, I don't, because China and Russia will come in, and this will be their new asset because we owe them so much money, and that's why they're dropping the treasury bonds back in, is to drop our fiat dollar into zero zilch zippo. And we've also know that BRICS is aligning with Russia and China, and Russia and China will be the new superpower, and the United States will be squashed. Squashed. That's what's occurring. And the thing is this has been perfectly planned for decades and decades. What concerns me as anybody that lives near a major city is this will be very, very bad. We also have to realize that all the land that China purchased that was near bases, why would they do that? Oh, to go in and rush and have their bases and take over our military bases with their own military. I mean, put 2 and 2 together. This is just my thoughts being prior military. But, if you think about it, if you really think about it and look at where they've purchased land, and some states have stopped it, right? Some have stopped it. But it is one of those situations that it's going to affect each and every one of us. And if you're in a city and you have any capability to get out immediately, do so. We on prepping channels have been talking about the cities for a long time. New York, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, San Diego, DC, Philadelphia are some of the major ones, and I believe Chicago. I'm trying to think. There's one down in Florida too. I believe it is Miami. Those are the major cities that have a huge, huge possibility of being nuked. Um, so that's one thing. And the thing is that no one will see it coming. We do not have the technology to even understand how quick 6th generation weapon systems are. We have talked about it before about Club K. Club K, I believe, is already within our borders. I believe that it has been moved into positions around the country and is on the DL. And for you that don't know, that means down low. But they have kept that camouflaged and ready to attack when the time is near. So I believe that some of the missile capability will come from within our own borders. And that's why I personally do believe that the Trojan horse is within our borders. Not only the sleeper cells, but the actual Trojan horse is within our borders, and it will cause a lot of chaos and commotion. Um, and no, I don't believe so, Leslie. There will not be time for alerts. When one time, as soon as one comes in, it will be balls to the wall. It'll be balls to the wall. It'll be every man, woman, and child in the United States on their own for themselves, and hopefully each and every one of you has a mag to rally together to, in case you don't have something, they have it, and vice versa. I also believe at the same time the grid will be taken down with the relays that China supplied into our grid, and once our grid goes down, our grid, according to the nuclear man that I spoke with that has been in nuclear science or whatever you call it. I'm not sure what he calls himself. He's some bigwig, but he actually said it's going to take about 18 months for them to even get the grid back up. So that's something that we all need to be aware of. 18 months without power, without cars, without comms is going to be detrimental to each and every one of us, to be completely cut off from the outer world. The one thing that I would say is definitely get a solar radio, get a NOAA radio, do what you can. And I would say, stay away from batteries because batteries are not going to last long. And we all know that. And pretty much everything that we consume is made in China. And I believe over the years that most of the things that we consume actually are purposely made to break, to break down so that we have to reconsume and put out the money to possess that item again and have that item. So that's going to be a huge hurdle, especially when we're so reliant on China and also on the shipping containers coming in from the Panama Canal, which we no longer in charge of the Panama Canal. Um, Russia is really pulling out its aces right now, and they literally are showing. They showed there's a video out. They showed them carrying in their control center for their nuclear into an office with Putin. That happened last night. The country's strategic nuclear forces are like becoming supersonic, and this is the major problem for the United States because we have no capability, and we have China and Russia together. And remember back when we watched them during the Olympics, and they had a meeting behind closed doors. What was that meeting for? Probably for this upcoming 2024. When and if China makes a move on Taiwan, Russia will be on China's side, and the U.S. will try to defend Taiwan, and all hell will break loose. And that is exactly what's going to occur. They are getting everything strategically placed. The bad thing for the United States right now is our military is very weak. Not only is it very weak, we have our reservists. They have just put out an alert. They are telling everyone to be ready to deploy. That means honestly and realistically, and I've never called the DEFCON, but that means we are probably nationwide at a 3, headed toward a 2, which has only been called 2 times in the history of the United States nationwide. And that one of them was during the Cuban Missile Crisis, if anybody is old enough or is a history buff and remembers that. So that's something to think about too, folks, is that we are definitely, with everything lined up, we are definitely at a 3, probably nationwide, and headed probably toward a 2, which could be very catastrophic for everyone. Yeah, I hear you, Sparkle On. I've been having a lot of deep conversations about everything that's going on. We really need to realize what we are up against, folks. And I want to share one other thing that I pulled up here. This is a letter that I stumbled upon that went out. It's called a letter for force, and this letter is a military letter, and it's very interesting what it actually says. Let's see if I have it pulled up big enough that y'all can read it. Let me drop me down here to the corner again so y'all can see this letter as I go through the letter with you. This letter was sent out on October 21st, just 2 days ago. Austin third on steps to increase forced posture. Following detailed discussions with President Biden on recent escalations by Iran and its proxy forces across the Middle East region, today I directed a series of additional steps to further strengthen the Department of Defense posture in the region. These steps will bolster regional deterrence efforts, increase force protection for U.S. forces in the region, and assist in the defense of Israel. First, I redirected the movement of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group to the Central Command area of responsibility. This Carrier Strike Group is in addition to the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, which is currently operating in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. It will further increase our force posture and strengthen our capabilities and ability to respond to the range of contingencies. I have also activated the deployment of Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, THAAD, battery, as well as additional Patriot battalions to locations throughout the region to increase force protection for U.S. forces. Finally, let me see if I can get it to go down here a minute. Finally, I have placed an additional number of forces to prepare to deploy orders as part of the prudent contingency planning to increase their readiness and ability to quickly respond as required. I will continue to assess our force posture requirements in the region and consider deploying additional capabilities as necessary. Coming in from the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd J. Austin. And so we have a very, very ignited situation. And no one is calling for peace. What we have is a total chaotic event unfolding before our very eyes, folks. I want to say to each and every one of you, I'm going to keep bringing the news. I'm really paying attention right now to the hacking community. We are also on the verge, as I showed in the video at the very beginning, folks, we are on the verge of some serious hacking. Make sure that you do have some cash available. Not that the cash is going to withstand what's going to happen to the fiat dollar, but, right? But you will have a very narrow window to spend that cash and use it. So do, act accordingly. We are at war. And that's one thing that we all need to realize. We are at war and you need to act accordingly, meaning that at any time, any place, something can erupt. Make sure that you have your get home bag inside your vehicle. Make sure that you have your pew pew within arm's distance at all times, even within your own home. This is the best words of advice I can tell you. Also, tomorrow we have been filling up water, water, water. We did that 3-week experiment, and now we have to work our tails off to replenish our water supply. Folks, I'm telling you right now, from this 3-week experiment, water is life. Life is water. And the thing is, folks, you will go through a lot of water. If one thing happens on any coast in any city that is major, start filling up every pot and pan, every pitcher that you have, every bowl you have, fill up anything, planters, fill up milk jugs, 5-gallon barrels, whatever you have, fill them up. It right now on my Patriot Supply, if one of the mods could drop it, last year I paid $45 for a Christmas gift for someone that I forgot who won it, for a water bob. You put this water bob inside of your bathtub. It has a hand pump on the top. They were $45 last year. I don't know why my Patriot Supply is doing it right now, but they're 17 bucks. It's a great way if something would break out, because water and electricity will go down very quickly. So make sure, if you can afford $17, $18, whatever it is, I think it's $17.95, get you one. We are an affiliate, so it would help the channel too. But most of all, it's going to help protect your ass, and you're going to be able to have an extra 65 to 80 gallons of water as quick as possible. I'm talking if something erupts in this country, even if it is not affecting you directly and you're in a rural or a small town or another city, act accordingly. Act like it is happening to you right then. Start rationing your food to you and your family, to your animals. Preserve, conserve, conserve, conserve. That's what I can say, not preserve, conserve. Conserve what you have. Act accordingly. Use your water very sparingly. I will tell you this, we have little tiny jugs. They're about this big. They're about 6 ounces. That 6-ounce bottle got me through a whole day. I tested myself. I could brush my teeth twice. I could wash my hands with it sparingly. And if you have the capability, get yourself an aloe vera plant immediately. Aloe vera burns. Aloe vera, you can also use it to make your own hand sanitizer. Dragonflies, did you make a video of you making the hand sanitizer or no? When what? Okay, if one of the mods could go, or Dragonflies, go grab that. That is a great way to have good hand sanitizer. Make sure you have some peroxide, some alcohol, duct tape, trash bags. Y'all, we don't have much time. We don't have much time. And that's just coming from my heart. I really, really feel that it's not the time is near, the time is here. We are at war. Each and every one of you, act accordingly. When you're out in public, be aware, be alert. Keep your head out of the gosh dang black screen. And when the comms go down, don't panic. Set tight. Be able to stay put in your dwelling. Be alert of what's going on around your dwelling. Have your local mag. Make a meetup spot immediately. If you have a local mag, you need to set those times right now. The day something happens, everybody, we're meeting at this location. We're having a meeting to protect our perimeter. Folks, it's going to come down to that. And I hope that each and every one of us, when it comes to our front door, that we're able to stand together as Americans, not as Republicans, not as Democrats, not as libertarians, not as none of that shit, as Americans for humanity, for peace, love, light, and hope. I believe that we're going to see things that are going to shake us to our bones, and we're going to lose a lot of good men and women. And it is the casualties of war. It is the casualties of war, folks. It is how it works out. I want to say, being prior military, sometimes when we feel that everything has went to shit, our timeline is not the same as what their timeline is. So be prepared, not scared. Keep walking in faith, light, love, and hope. And on the way out tonight, I'm going to say this: they're burning down the house, and they're doing a damn good job of it. And you know how we do it here at the OTWP Mag? So here we go, folks. Burning down the house. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. And if you really watch the lyrics, gosh dang, it kind of fits what's going on right now. Big prepper hugs to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to all my members, all the subs, and all the thumbs up. Y'all have been doing fabulous. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you.